with Gertjan Van Der Geer, co-portfolio manager at John Hancock Global Thematic Opportunities Fund, the ticker symbol of that fund, JTKCX. It's great to see you. So
good to be here.
Your idea here is that the global population is growing, and even in the states where we've had slower growth of population, we need to be connected. And I'm not just talking about Alexa or things like that. You're talking about real things that citizens need.
I'm talking about looking at investments that benefit from very long-term trends. So instead of focusing on energy sector or materials, we try and do it differently. If you think about where the world will be 15, 20 years from now, that's what we want our portfolio to look like today. So we already want to be positioned for that future growth.
So this is what you mean by a thematic approach. So what are some of the elements of 10, 15 years from now that maybe we're not thinking about as much?
So we base our long-term trends on megatrends, these long-term secular changes that we see in the economy that affect the way we interact or the businesses, how they operate. And we build our thematic funds off of that. And from these theme funds, I will then pick my portfolio holdings in that global thematic fund.
So what are some of the other themes?
Security, water scarcity is a big issue that will go on for decades. That requires a lot of investments. Digital is one, obviously, robotics with automation, and we have a few others like that.
Okay, so now we have an understanding. So a lot of these picks that we're talking about now are, infrastructure, transportation, as we design and build the future, right? So you mentioned water. I know one of the picks here is Xylem, water pumps treatments, right? Is that one of the picks? Why?
Well, Xylem is a very interesting company because it caters to the products that the water utilities needs, that industrials that use water they need, and as well for wastewater treatment. And it's a massive global industry that requires $1 trillion of capex a year. Here in the United States alone, it's $150 billion that is needed every year for maintenance, for installation of new equipment, you name it. And so that's an extremely long-term secular trend, and Xylem has the portfolio of products that caters to all those needs.
Are they're not just centered here in the States then?
Yeah, 50% of the sales are in the United States, and the rest is overseas.
Is that one of the reasons why you picked it versus its competitors? I mean, there must be so many types of water pump treatments. I mean, why this one?
We chose it because its competitive advantage is in the breadth of its products. So it's really a one-stop shop. They have just about the solution for everything. And as a result, their organic growth profile is a lot more attractive than its competition.
And you hold these now for years, right? I mean, do you expect upside potential in 12 months or not necessarily?
No, when we invest, we're really looking for that long-term. Our whole framework is based out on those long-term megatrends.
Right.
That means that we intend to hold these stocks for a great number.
And then the other thing, dividend paying, I mean, offhand, do you know if it's a dividend payer?
Yes, dividends are important, but if the company has the ability to reinvest in its own business at higher returns, we'd much prefer that.
Interesting. IPGP, right? This is all about fiber lasers, medical technology, long distance network links that we need.
Yes,
Tell
yes,
us
we
why
do.
We need these things in the future.
Laser is, so they do fiber lasers. So fiber lasers are slowly taking share versus traditional lasers. And because of the efficiency of laser cutting versus traditional cutting, that's already a growing market. So you have really the double benefit. You have lasers which are displacing traditional cutting, and within that laser market, you have fiber lasers which are coming up.
Now, if the market slows down or obviously picks up, you hold on to it. If we start to see the market take a big leg down, should people buy more at a lower price or take some money off the table?
So what we usually do, we reassess our positions whenever there's a large move in the market that warrants us to do that. And if nothing has changed to the competitive landscape, to the position of that company within its industry, or to the long-term outlook of that industry, we, in those situations, prefer to be contrarian and would add to that position.
All right, at a lower price, I get it.
Exactly.
IPG Photonics was the last one we were talking about.
Yes.
IPGP, ticker symbol on that one. Great to see you. Gertjan Van Der Geer, co-portfolio manager at John Hancock Global Thematic Opportunities Fund. Thank you very much.